And the latest is called The Great Irish Book of Gaelic Games. The woman behind it is RTE News and TV Sports reporter Evanne Ni Chuilinn. And Evanne now joins us and joining us on Zoom as well. Congratulations, Evanne. It's some book, and it's some size of a book as well. I'm just going to hold it up there. Hope people can see it.
Thank you. Thank you, and I'm glad to see it's made its way to Donegal.
It has. It took a truck all by itself to get it up here. It's a super-sized book, but that's deliberate. I mean, it stands out on the shelves, that's for sure.
It does, and as you said, it's part of a series. Gael bring out one of these books every year, so they kind of all go together as a little family. They're all the same size. But they all have different authors and different illustrators as well. So Donogh O'Malley illustrated this book for me, and he has done, as you can see, he's done an exceptional job, just bringing the facts and the figures and the stories jumping off the page.
Well, they do jump off the page, and big pages they are as well. And it's great for younger readers as well, because it's. There's a lot of great illustrations, and I suppose wording. No kids love to look at pictures and graphs, and aren't graphs, but pictures and illustrations and so on. And reading, not so much so. So the balance is just nice here.
Yeah, I do think that it's the kind of book kids will grow with. So you can have your 3 and 4-year-olds or your pre-readers who and have stories read to them. So you could be reading to them one night about Rena Buckley, or you could be reading to them one night about Cuchulainn. And then you have kids who love the facts and the figures, or the flags and the nicknames, and the story behind the counties, or the story behind how a schlitter is made, or whatever. But I've had adults come to me since the book reached the shelves kind of saying, geez, I've learned a few things from this book as well. So it's not even the kind of stuff, it's not even just for it's not even just for children. I think it's the kind of book that everybody could get, could kind of take something out of, I think, anyway. I'm very proud of it. I think Donogh O'Malley is the same as well. He's really happy with how it's all come together.
Yeah, I think you're right. We could all, learn something from it. For instance, which county won the first ever Sam Maguire Cup back in 1928? And that was...
There you go. Go on.
You go on. You wrote the book there. What surprised me about that is that it took until 1928, given that the GAA was formed in 1884.
84, yeah. And we were really careful about trying to, not to bombard kids with too much facts, too many facts. Because like you say, sometimes kids who are not avid readers will be kind of turned off by something that they might think is an encyclopedia. But we did want to reflect the pre-1884 period as well. So we have some of the stuff about the legends and the stories of, the earliest football games, or the earliest football known as a codge. I'm sure you'll be aware in Donegal. But, those... That was kind of important to have that balance. And then, to be honest with you, the hardest part was actually the table of contents. It was actually trying to decide what to put in, where to put it. Right. So I came up with the idea of having a whole section. Obviously, there's the history section, and then there's a whole section on the small ball and a whole section on the big ball. But within those sections themselves, we have stories about handball and rounders and puck fada, and the games that we've kind of forgotten are the small ball games as well. So it's not just about camogie and hurling. And then in the big ball section, we have stories and information about international rules, or the Irish stars who are making waves down under as well. So it's not just about Gaelic football and ladies football. It's actually more about all of the bigger ball sports in Gaelic games as well. Because people do often forget, that rounders and handball are very important parts of the Gaelic Athletic Association, but also just Gaelic games in general, I do think the faster the integration happens, though, the better, because we just have too many associations, don't we?
Well, maybe so. That's an argument for another day. But you don't forget the diaspora as well, and you remind us in the book that it's sort of worldwide. Wherever there's Irish, there's Gaelic games, and you touch on that in the book, and you touch you've sort of outlined it there, on just all aspects of Gaelic games. So
my favourite page is the one about the Gaelic games around the world, because as you said, it's growing everywhere around the world. And I keep telling my kids, if they keep playing Gaelic games, they can travel the world and join a club in whatever city they land in, and they'll have an immediate bunch of pals that they'll just be able to meet up with. So I do think that's important. I'm going to New York on Friday myself to play in a Mothers and Others football blitz. So I'm really kind of walking the walk as well as talking the talk this week, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, There's Gaelic for mothers and others. You don't have to go to New York to play in that, Yvonne. But anyway,
no, you absolutely don't. But there was a blitz. We were invited over to play in a blitz, and there are 16 teams travelling. So
wow.
we're not the only ones.
Oh, that'll be a big weekend.
Well, hopefully there's a team from Donegal. I'll let you know after the weekend.
Yeah, I do. And if there's any football played, it sounds like it's going to
we get to play in Gaelic Park, and a lot of people wouldn't have the opportunity to do that. So that's what I'm looking forward to. That's for sure.
All right. And I see there's a piece in, I think it's Legendary Players, and Donegal gets a mention, and Michael Murphy's included, because I was kind of flicking through just to see where Donegal might be mentioned, but I came on that one anyhow. So you haven't?
Yeah. And like I'd say, there's a radio presenter in every single county in Ireland, maybe going through the book and saying, how are we represented? And that is something I had, I spent a lot of time thinking about, because I had to cater for men and women and young people and old people and hurling and football.
I know you can't squeeze in every county. I know, but you got Donegal, and I'm just saying. It's great now that it's out, and you'll be a proud addition on your own bookcase if you have one big enough, that is.
Yeah, I don't have one big enough. The size of the book.
Nobody would have, but it,
nobody would have. No, I'm very proud of
it.
It is, and my kids, kind of. They saw sketches and they saw different snippets of it over the past year while I was writing it. So it's lovely for them to have it as well. It's my first book. Maybe it'll be my only book. Maybe it won't, but it's certainly one I'm very proud of. Yeah.
I doubt it. I doubt it'll be your only one. You're only getting started. It's the kind of book that would have featured on the Late Late Toy Show, where Ryan Tubridy would have gotten very enthusiastic about it and given it the thumbs up. And rightly so, because can you remember what the others in the series were?
Yeah, I can. So there was a politics book, there was a history book, there was a farm book, there was a weather book. There've been loads of them, science as well.
Yeah. Okay, I recognise a few of them now that you mentioned it. Okay, well, this is a great one. It's all a history of the Gaelic Games. And what about you at the moment? You're busy. Well, apart from New York, that is. But the GA season, inter-county season, anyhow. We're in between seasons, so.
Yeah, it's always busy though. I just think at this stage, between rugby and football and Gaelic and the whole, there is literally no downtime anymore. And the fact that we're showing so much of the women's football as well, we've got more Nations League matches coming in a few weeks' time, so I'll be working on them. Hopefully those women will qualify for the Euros, and maybe the men will too, possibly not next year, but in a few years' time. But there's no downtime anymore. The Rugby World Cup is just finished, but the URC is ongoing, so there's always something to work about and talk about.
It's a great time for women in sport, and behind the camera or actually playing the games, exciting times, and there's never been more involvement. So it's great, as a broadcaster as well.
Absolutely, yeah. The landscape has completely changed. Yeah. I'm working in the industry almost 20 years now, and it's a completely different industry. It's a completely different culture, and that can only be good, because there are young girls out there who want to be footballers, and they want to be camogie players, and they want to be hockey players, but some of them want to be journalists, and they can see female journalists now, and they can see the visibility is so important. It's the same for a kid who wants to play for Arsenal. They can see Katie McCabe did it. There's a pathway there. They can also see, female broadcasters as well, and it's another very obvious pathway that wasn't that obvious when I was a kid.
Yeah, absolutely. You would have seen the change. Okay, well, congratulations on the book. It's the Great Irish Book of Gaelic Games, and I would imagine it's going to be very popular for Christmas, and we're holding it up there to the camera one more time. It is a sizable book indeed, but a real addition in any household. Evanne, thank you very much, and good luck in New York at the weekend.
Thank you so much. Thanks a million.
Take care.